Hi, I'm Cash, and welcome back to Cash Talks Football, where we break down all the goals scored in the Premier League. And there's not many goals to break down today. I'm just going to do a little quick video of these two because there's not much to talk about. But I do want to show you this, which I think is hilarious. I think it's Cucurella coming in here for this little short pass. You can see how poor a lot of these teams are trained in the Premier League when you've got acres of space. I know he ends up receiving the ball on the give and go here. You've got a player right behind him who could just run into the space, receive the ball and run off and make it so much easier. But because they've trained in all these small-sided and tiny little frames, and if you don't know much about that, check out some of my videos where I expose how bad this is in training sessions and why. Because I've been coaching for over 20 plus years in this game of football that we know. But the reason I'm highlighting this is because, I think it's Cucurella here, makes such a bad mistake. Look, he goes to get it, but the other player trying to tackle him ends up making the pass for him. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. 1, 2, 3 Everton players exposed, massive gap right here, and these two clowns are just stood here in the same space. Everton are giving them the space. The fact that these two players, 1, 2 are pressuring the ball allows this guy to drop into this space and take it all away, and they cannot see it and they cannot read it. Is amazing. But I think he realizes he's made a bad pass or didn't make the pass or whatever because he's got his hands on his head. Or he might just be playing with his hair. Just wanted to show you that little clip there and show you how bad those Everton players are running around the ball, but it's awful. I'm just going to get straight to the goal and we'll call it a day. I just moved my camera back down to the regular spot. I just wanted to give you a little bit more screen space for that last little clip I was showing you. Now, this is a bit interesting, actually. I had to watch this a couple of times just to have a little look. You've got 1, 2 Everton players, and clearly he's running back with the ball, and he doesn't pass the ball there quickly, so he can just release down the wing. You can see that's what he's waiting for there because of this Chelsea player reading the ball coming back into play. But that isn't the reason I was rewatching it over and over again. Okay, so let's just play this a little bit forward slowly, and we'll stop it and see if you can spot what I'm talking about here. At the point where for some reason he's dribbling in his own half and he loses the ball and tackles, this is what I'm more concerned about, is the fact that 1, 2 are both being passing options, but we have no defensive cover at all. And that is hugely important because it gives you an aspect of understanding of what's really going on the team. And there is this thing in football which you don't really say as a coach, okay, because what it does is it puts negative connotations into the player's head. You have to always be telling your midfield what happens when we lose the ball. You better be defending, but you need to always tell them, don't worry about losing the ball, because you've got possession, if that makes sense. Because you're always contradicting yourself in coaching because everything's always shifting in every second of the game. And you need to make sure there's certain gaps and holes in the field that are plugged. And Everton haven't done that. You can see when the ball's here and he's coming back, 1, 2 players out wide, 1, 2 players in situations that they really shouldn't be because of where the ball is. Even though they're trying to offer passing angles, they're really not because of the pressure here from Chelsea. They don't realise how deep they need to get. Or this guy needs to come over and cover. He's right here. Needs to come over and cover. And they don't. So look, now he can't go. It's too late. Do you see? It's all too late. Its reactions aren't quick enough. And you can see other reason is you can see how far the back line is. So he should have known better. Why? Okay, so if the ball is here and this is your defensive midfielder, because remember they're using the word pivot. He's not in the pivot right now because the pivot would mean if, and I can't stand that word, I think it's so moronic. When you possession of the back four, or when the back four's got the ball and you're trying to pivot it around. If you're on my Patreon, check it out because I will be doing it for free. I put most of my stuff up there for free. I will be going through Barcelona's system of the pivot, and explaining that properly to everyone who thinks they know, but now you will actually know. So he needs to be in line with the ball. So if the ball's there, would need to be directly in line with it. So if they lose possession, he's there, not over here where he was. They're moving back over to here, okay? Because there's no need for him to be there. He's the pivot is actually, if you want to get really technical and you actually understand your football, let's just draw it out because we don't have much to talk about in this video. So when you've got your old back four or a back three, we'll do a back three because that's where it's predominantly done. You'd have a sweeper, and it's only done for a little bit. Oh God, I don't even know how I zoomed in. Right, you'd have a sweeper, and the sweeper all his real job is to do Right, it's the same as a striker. A striker does a similar option. Wherever the ball is, here, 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 or here, the striker follows and tracks the ball so he can be given an out ball up to here. Or the sweeper would track the ball where the ball would go. So when it's played through, he'd be there waiting for it. Now, if you take it as the pivot, he does the exact same role, but instead of being behind the defenders, he's in front of the defenders. So as the ball tracks across, he would track across so he can break down any play because he's always there on the side where the ball is and where he's ready to go. The fact that he doesn't move means he doesn't really play that position. He doesn't really know what he's doing. What they're focused so much on nowadays is when you've got the ball of where to play and move the ball to. But football's never been about what you do when you have the ball. It's always been about what you do when you don't have it. Classic example there is he doesn't know what he's doing. This is a good ball in, to be fair. And right, I slate Jackson a lot, but this is where I want to see more, okay? Because I'd love to do, give me 6 training sessions with this kiddie and I'd make him actually a decent football player. The problem I always see with him is when he has to make decisions, he can't do it. But when he's doing this, he's spinning, turning and shooting, he's actually quite decent. This strike from outside the 18-yard box is good. It's on the floor, perfect. Doesn't even think about it. Spin, turn, finish. You don't see that much of him doing that. He's not good at running with the ball, trying to, then trying to finish the player, or running or coming onto a cross, trying to finish the ball. If he stood still, balls into feet, turn, strike, that's clinical. That is a clinical strike. You can see he's got it in him, but they're the opportunities you need to be creating for him, not necessarily the ones he gets a lot of, where he's running onto the ball, trying to do a finish or trying to go around the keeper, because that's the ones he's just bad at. If he gets those right and he keeps doing things like that, he'll actually turn into a decent striker. Other than that, I'll see you next time on Cash Talks Football.